Good day everyone, welcome back to the channel, and here we have it. We have the Russian T-55A, which now completes our Tamiya T-series tanks. I already have the T-72M1 and also the T-62A, which I both covered in previous videos. So today we'd be taking a look at the T-55A. Let's get started. So open up the box and we have around 5 sprues, 2 individual big pieces right there, the track links, decals, and as well as other parts we'll be tackling later. So first off, we have this part, this sprue. Here we can see that these are most of the hatches, excuse me, as well as the searchlights and headlights. We also have here the gun mantlet and cover to be exact. We can see that the mantlet cover is already molded in very nice detail, so to say. We also have here the dushka, the mounting points for the dushka as well. And here we have yet another unditching log. Yes, we have quite a lot of it. Let's see if that can zoom in. We have quite a lot of it in the Russian tanks. Both the T-72 and the T-62 also have them. And here we have the gun barrel, which is in 2 pieces. So yet again, we're going to have to eliminate that seam line once we glue them together. So next off, we have the turret. The turret and most of the hatch points here. So the turret has some substantial amount of surface detailing to go. We have the weld marks there, nicely done. An exposed wiring supposedly goes into the tank and connects to whatever piece there is. It's probably a searchlight or whatnot. And also here we have the gun mantlet as well as the frame, which is also nicely detailed, as you can see there. Also the turret itself is detailed with cast texture, so you have those uneven ridges. And I'd like to point out that unlike the T-62, which is oddly enough the only T-tank that does not have the cast texture, both this and the T-72 have the cast texture molded onto the turret, so this is a pretty nice touch. Oh, I'd like to also point out that a friend told me that when building this particular model, there is a certain lip that's supposed to be around here. It runs the sides of the tanks but not the ones parallel to the mantlet. So there's supposed to be a small lip around 2 millimeters tall that runs the entire side of the tank. So we're probably gonna have to do that to make it a bit more accurate. And the kit also actually dictates 2 types of cupola rings. One that's bolted on and another that's let me see if I can find it here. I think it's all here. Yeah, one that's bolted on and one that has less prominent bolting. I think it would be this one. The bolts are mostly down on the support ring, and we have another wherein, oh, hold on, let me get my facts straight. Yeah, I think it has to do with the gunner's cupola. Yeah. Oh yes, here. We have one that has more bolts, or the bolting detail is more prominent than the other. And I was told that this is because of the previous version of the T-55 that they based it off on. So one version is an older model of the T-55, while the other ring is a more standardized version amongst later T-55 models. And I'd like to add that this particular kit has 4 options that are also based on the turret cupola ring, so just take a look at that when you start building. Also we have here on the sides the rings or the support guards for the gunner's sight as well as the coaxial machine gun. Next off, we have the rear panels, the front panel, stowage bins, some more of the cupolas, the engine deck detailing, as well as these things are for the sides of the hull, basically the supports. They come on around here and it basically supports the rotation of the turrets. So we also have here the commander's figure, nicely molded detail there. Let's see if that can zoom in. There we go. We have the commander's figure right there. And yeah, that's basically it for this sprue. Mostly other hatches, hatch covers for the stowage, and also some of the details for the engine deck. And here we have the 2 sprues for the running gear. So we have here the road wheels, the idler, and the sprocket. And also we have the external fuel cans that go onto the rear of the tank, as well as the mounting points for the external fuel cans. We also have here the ammunition boxes for the Tushka. Extras track links that are for surface details. Although I'd like to add that comparing these track links, as you can see here, comparing these track links to the ones here, they're about the same, so it's nicely done. What else? We also have some nice detailing on the road wheels. As you can see, the lines on the face of the road wheels are already molded in, which is a nicely done detail. So that's basically it for these 2 sprues. Oh, and also we have the torsion bars, or the torsion arms. What else is there to point out? Mostly other details here are for the hull itself already. And speaking of the hull, here we have it. First, let's take a look at the upper hull. Nicely done surface details. And this part is a more correct version of the hull. As you can see, or as you saw in the previous video covering the T-62, this part right here, or this mudguard right here, is supposed to hinge upwards and downwards, so for easy track maintenance, which is why there is that kind of hinge over there. However, on the T-62, that detail is missing, so we're going to have to detail that in. More exposed wiring, weld marks right there, nicely detailed. The engine deck, the grills themselves. Yeah, that's basically it for this upper hull piece. Next off, we have the lower hull. Nicely done surface detailing. As you can see, there are no motorization holes, so it would be a straightforward build. Just connect whatever points you have to put on the back panel, as well as this front panel right here. and the torsion arms. And yeah, that's basically a straightforward lower hull. If you're gonna wonder what these are for the mounting points for the external fuel cans. So next off, we have the decals. The decals depict Russian as well as Polish and Czechoslovakian use. However, it was pointed out to me by the same friend that this is more accurate for a Russian tank rather than a Czechoslovakian or Polish tank, as the details for this tank are standard Russian details. So if you are going to do it in a Czechoslovakian or Polish tank, you would have to modify this tank slightly. Next off, we have the bag for the string, which is by my guess, of course, this would be for the towing cables. We have the wire mesh for the engine deck grills, as well as polycaps for the running gears. And last off, we have the vinyl tracks, nicely detailed both rear and also the fronts. Alright, so my thoughts on this tank. As I was talking to other sources regarding this tank, the build, it's pretty good for a out of the box, and it's well detailed enough for you to depict a T-55. It's also nice that I got to complete the T-series or some of the T-series tanks of Tamiya, which depict Cold War Russian tanks, the T-55, T-62, as well as the T-72. So once everything is finished, I do a video reviewing all three of those T tanks and give my opinion on them. And I'd like to add a small update on the T-62. I'm currently modifying it around the turret area as well as some surface details, especially these kinds, the one with the exposed plumbing or wiring, as the surface does lack some substantial amount of detail and texture. So I am modifying that right now, which is why I cannot start on this kit yet. But after I'm done with the modeling and modifying on the T-62, I'd immediately build this and altogether paint the T-55, the T-62, and also the Trumpeter KV-1 that I covered in a previous video. So once all of those are complete, I do a video altogether reviewing the finished models. So yeah, that's basically it for this review video. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, leave a thumbs up, but if you didn't, leave a thumbs down. Also, let me know down in the comments below what you think of this tank. If you have it, what did you do with it, or how did you come to build it? And if you don't have this tank, let me know down below if you're considering getting this tank because it's interesting or it piques your interest in Russian tanks, or just because it's an iconic tank altogether. So anyway, stay home, stay safe, and see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.